Hey everybody, Ryan here at etrailer. Today we're going to be checking out and showing you how to install the Stromberg Carlson landing gear pull pins. So one of the main issues that you run into with these pins is the fact that they can break, and it actually causes a pretty unsafe condition. What can happen is over time, these pins can kind of start to get gunked up and get worn out a little bit. And then a lot of times what will happen when you go to push a pin in, it won't be lined up perfectly, or it won't come completely through your leg here. And then the weight of it is only being supported on just one small portion of the pin. So here's actually the broken one from the other side, and that's what was happening. The pin wasn't going all the way through, and eventually it bent and bent and bent and finally gave way. So obviously replacing these and keeping them in good working condition is a thing to pay attention to. And even this one is a good example. So it'll go in almost all the way, but I think this one's bent too, to where even if you try to work this leg up or down or anything else, it won't go completely through. So by replacing it, we're going to correct that issue and have a good set of working pins here. So this is the new one installed on the other side. And just to show you how this one works, so when you pull it back, it locks out, and if you move, it locks in almost immediately, right? So I'll hold it. I'll just try to adjust this just to show you. But you'll run this down and then just push it, barely push it, and the pin's gonna go completely through. As opposed to the other one, we didn't end up getting it through like you just seen, but it's a hassle, it's a fight, and it's so bent, it's already compromised. So we'll go ahead and put a new one on the other side as well and get squared away. To get these things changed out, it's pretty straightforward. What I like to do before you take the old ones off is just kind of scratch where they're sitting, or you can use a marker or whatever too. Just to have a reference where the old ones were. And then obviously you want your trailer supported, so I'm hooked up to our truck now. And what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna let the leg down like that, and then we can remove it. So this is just two 10mm head nuts, and this is going to come with new hardware too, so it's always a bonus. Get that out and pull this guy out. Get the new one on. We'll grab our new assembly, and instead of trying to push this down, it's almost easier just to lift up and go up to the next hole. Almost just feed that through, and we'll work it on there. And it's kind of a tight fit. You may have to come back with a rubber mallet or something and give it a couple taps if you're having trouble there. We will get this started. I'm trying to line this up with our old marks there. That seems about spot on. And from there, nothing really to it. We'll just take the new nuts and get them started. And honestly, that's really all there is to it as far as getting it on goes. These do come as a set, so you get two of them. So obviously just do the same thing for the other side. But pretty simple component. Honestly, you can use these as an upgrade too for those of you that might not have this on already. Sometimes you just get the regular type pins like this one down here, and they work, ain't nothing wrong with them, but kind of a pain. You got to keep track of the pins, and then of course you set it down somewhere and forget about it and then lose it and everything else. So these actually stay on here all the time, so they're ready for you whenever. These are going to work with the Stromberg Carlson landing gears, whether you have the manual ones or the electric ones. So they're going to be direct replacement there. And these will also work with other different types of legs. As long as it's a design like this and it's 2 1/4 inch leg with a 7/16 size pinhole, you'll be able to bolt these up and use them as well. With this replaced, so now, it works so much better. Essentially, it locks into place on its own and, works like you'd expect it to. In case you were wondering, so when you put this on, it's going to extend out past your leg there about 5.5 inches. And the actual pin diameter, this piece that runs in through there, that's going to be 3/8 in size. Made out of steel, and that's really all there is to it. You know, just kind of some pointers. Like I said, it's pretty common for these to get gunked up and run into the issues that we saw today. You know, to prevent that, just make sure, whenever you do this, make sure that that pin goes completely through. You know, both sides there is all the way engaged, and that's going to save you a lot of headache. You know, if you want to do some maintenance to prevent that type of stuff from happening, clean it. You know, I mean, it sounds kind of tedious and something that you probably aren't jumping for joy to do, but at the end of the day, I mean, these legs and stuff get grease caked up in there, moisture, dirt, all that kind of stuff, and then it just kind of clogs the mechanism up, and then this don't want to go through, and that's kind of where it all, you know, snowballs from there. This is so easy to take off, especially if you got a power tool. Zip those two nuts off, pull it apart, you know, clean it down with some solution, and I honestly don't see any reason why this won't last for a very long time. And that'll finish up our look at and our installation of the Stromberg Carlson landing gear pull pins.